各位记者朋友，大家好。首先，我再次欢迎蓬佩奥国务卿对中国进行访问。刚才我们对中美关系以及朝鲜半岛等共同关心的重要问题深入交换了意见。
Just now we exchanged the views on bilateral relations and important international and regional issues of mutual interest, and we all believe that both sides, the leaders, had very close interactions through emails and phone calls, which gave the great directions to the development of both sides. Right now, the development of both sides in a pivotal position with the 40 years development. I believe there are more and more challenges and opportunities in front of us. But of course, there are the opportunities, oversights, or weight the differences. I believe we have more opportunities. Two sides, and I believe this is also fulfilled and in line with our people's aspirations. We will arrange more interactions in the high levels
also
and the
arrangement
local level.
of high-level exchanges at the top and all the other levels, and also have the second round of dialogues of the four mechanisms this year to expand exchanges and cooperation on economy, mil-to-mil law enforcement, drugs, subnational cooperation, and people-to-people exchanges to firm up the public support for China-U.S. relationship. Not too long ago, economic teams had another round of consultation in Beijing, reaching some understanding and consensus. We believe the most important point is that both sides have to use constructive ways to settle our differences. We hope the U.S. will meet the Chinese halfway to use a win-win instead of a lose-lose approach, and use a plus instead of minuses to find appropriate solutions to the problems we face. And we hope that the U.S. will refrain from making any unilateral, non-constructive means or to create further obstacles for our further cooperation. In the course of our discussion, I reaffirmed to the Secretary our principled position on Taiwan, expressed our grave concerns over some of the recent U.S. practices on this, and urging the U.S. side to abide by the One China principle and 3 Sino-U.S. joint communiques, stop official exchanges and all military links with Taiwan, appropriately handle Taiwan-related issues with caution so that the bigger picture of our relationship will not suffer unnecessary disruptions. Secretary Pompeo gave us an update on the Singapore summit. This is a successful and historic meeting, and the significance lies in that it has reincorporated the peninsula issue back to the track of peaceful solution via dialogues. This is a good beginning, and we are greatly appreciative of the courage and vision demonstrated by the leaders of U.S. and the DPRK. This is a good beginning, but of course it is impossible to solve this issue overnight. We hope and believe that the two sides will follow through on the agreement reached at the summit, continue to meet each other halfway, carry out vigorous interaction, and follow through on the following consultation. And this is a process that calls for the participation of all parties. China is ready to work with U.S., the DPRK, and all relevant parties closely to promote dialogue and establish a peace mechanism on the peninsula and make our due contribution to the settlement of the issue. Thank you. Now the floor is to Secretary Pompeo.
Good evening. I'm delighted to be with you, Councillor Yang. It's the second time we've had the chance to meet. First in Washington and now here. And it's great to make my first trip to China as the United States Secretary of State. I want to thank all of our Chinese hosts for their incredible hospitality. I also want to thank China and President Xi for his role in helping bring North Korea to the negotiating table and for its continued support as we work to achieve the complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of North Korea. This is my third country that I've had the chance to speak with today. Each has reinforced 3 important things that happened in Singapore. First, the commitment to a fundamentally changed relationship. Japan, the Republic of Korea, and now China have all acknowledged that we have turned the corner, that we have begun a process away from the threat of war and towards peace on the peninsula. Each of those 3 countries, too, has acknowledged the importance of the work that President Trump has undertaken and the commitments that Chairman Kim has made towards that very end, to achieve that denuclearization. And each of those 3 countries has also acknowledged that it is important that the sanctions regime that is in place today remain in place until such time as that denuclearization is in fact complete. There has been unanimity in that set of objectives, and I'm heartened by that following the Singapore summit. The United States wants a very constructive relationship with China. That means we have to make concrete progress on our top priorities. We've seen the power that comes when the United States and China do work together, when we don't treat the relationship as being zero-sum. We're stopping the flow of illegal opioids together, and this will save countless American lives, and we are deeply appreciative of China's support. We discussed trade today. Our deficit with China is still too high. I stress how important it is for President Trump to rectify that situation so that trade becomes more balanced, more reciprocal, and more fair, with the opportunity to have American workers be treated fairly. We had good and constructive discussions. We also need to make some progress between our two countries on security. As Councilor Young mentioned, I reaffirmed our concern with respect to China's efforts to build and militarize outposts in the South China Sea, endangering the free flow of trade and threaten the sovereignty of other nations and undermining regional stability. I urged Councilor Young, and he confirmed China's willingness to resolve these disputes in a peaceful way without resort to threats, coercion, or intimidation. I am confident that we can continue to work together towards that end. When our two countries disagree, our two countries will speak up and firmly stand for each of our people. Our values, including the respect for human rights and religious freedom and the rule of law, are important. When we cooperate, the United States and China can make great progress. There is much work ahead for our two countries. I am committed to working with you and with China to achieve those objectives. Thank you.